Good morning and welcome to Hanover County Schools, the morning show. I'm Ryan Spurney.
And I'm Jackie DiNapoli. This is the week of November 11th through November 16th.
This week we feature many of our animal segments, and our theme for the show is dinosaurs.
That's right. Since learning about dinosaurs as a kid, they have been interesting and fascinating to most of us, not only occupying a time in our past, but also a place in our imagination.
All throughout the show we'll feature dinosaur facts, shed light on some myths, and feature the dinosaurs themselves.
Plus, we'll end the show with a fun dinosaur game.
In addition, we have many other great features, including Zoo Files, a segment from the North Carolina Zoo in Asheboro hosted by Rod Hackney.
We also have Noteworthy with this year's new host, Abby Bowman. She sits down with UNCW professor Dr. James DeVita, and they talk about the new GLSEN chapter started this year at Hoggard.
And we'll feature a new episode of America's Wildest Places, where we travel to Crab Orchard, Illinois.
Before we get things going, let's start with some dino facts. In fact, let's start at the beginning. The first dinosaur to be formally named was the Megalosaurus. It was named in 1824 by William Buckland, which was before dinosaurs became the group name. Megalosaurus means great lizard.
A person who studies dinosaurs is known as a paleontologist, which means the study of prehistoric life by studying fossils.
Dinosaurs lived during the Mesozoic era, which is often referred to as the age of dinosaurs. The era ended 65 million years ago.
Okay, one last fact before we get our show going.
Let's hear it.
At present, over 700 different species of dinosaurs have been identified and named. However, paleontologists believe that there are many more new and different dinosaur species still to be discovered.
That's exciting. Students who want to be paleontologists will have the chance to find a name for a new dinosaur.
That's right. Now let's swing over to our news anchor, Airly Ward, who is standing by with your first look at your school news headlines. Good morning, Airly.
Good morning, Ryan and Jackie, and welcome everyone to your school news here on the morning show. Topping the headlines this week. New Hanover County Schools Transition Fair is a major success. Kennedy Center artist teaches workshops at Snipes. And we have the first in a series of special reports on student health. I will have all those stories and more coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Airly. We get things going today with a segment we call This Week in History. Our Grand Master of Historical Knowledge has all the headlines from past times in This Week in History, brought to you by Kidsville News.
Welcome to This Week in History. I'm your historical host, Sarah Dorsey, covering all the colorful and amazing events that have left their mark on history's timeline. This is the week of November 11th through November 17th. On November 11th, 1918, at 11 o'clock on the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, World War I ends. Germany, facing an imminent invasion, agreed to sign an armistice agreement with the Allied powers in a railroad car in France. November 12, 1864, General William T. Sherman orders his troops to destroy the business section of Atlanta, Georgia. He did this to prevent the Confederates from recovering anything left behind after the Yankees left Atlanta. November 13, 1982, on this day, the Vietnam National Memorial was dedicated to those who served in the Vietnam War. The memorial is a long black granite wall inscribed with the names of the nearly 58,000 Americans who died in the conflict. November 14, 1851, one of the most famous books ever written, Moby Dick, was published. Moby Dick was written by Herman Melville and was published by Harper and Brothers in New York. November 15, 1777, after 16 months of debate, the Continental Congress agrees to adopt the Articles of Confederation. It would not be until March 1, 1781, that the last 13 states, Maryland, would ratify the document. Finally, your week in history tidbits. November 16, 2001, On this day, the British author J.K. Rowling's star creation, a boy wizard, Harry Potter, makes his big screen debut in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. To date, the Harry Potter films are the most financially successful series in history, having surpassed both the Star Wars and James Bond franchises. November 17, 1887, on this day, Bernard Law Montgomery, British general and one of the most formidable Allied commanders of the war, is born in London. Montgomery and his 21st Army Group performed admirably in France, keeping the Germans turned in one direction as American forces attacked from the other. However, most other generals often rejected many of Monty's strategic proposals, deeming them overly cautious. That's This Week in History, your ultimate source for those key moments in time. I'm Sarah Dorsey. Thanks for stopping by.
This Week in History is brought to you by Kidsville News, a fun and effective learning resource for children, teachers, and parents. It features school news, information, and local community events, while promoting literacy and the development of good reading habits, character traits, and study skills in young children. And best of all, Kidsville News is always free. Copies are delivered every month to every elementary school in the New Hanover County school system.
And join us again next time for another journey through time as we explore the fun, fascinating, entertaining, and educational facts that make up This Week in History.
Now don't go away, we'll be right back.
Glucose plus oxygen equals carbon dioxide plus water.
Hey, Gio, what's up?
And energy. Superior vena cava, pulmonary artery, coronary artery.
I'd like to pass them back to you now.
For chem
Very
tissue
pleased with
types
your
of
work.
endoplasmic reticulum with ribosomes 3 o'clock already. And without. Copy of the skeletal anatomy notes. For chem cycle Wednesday. Velocity carbon dioxide skeletal anatomy Thursday. The lobes of the cortex.
She's got the drive,
Cranial volume.
the energy,
Ventral, parietal,
the heart,
and occipital.
and the talent.
Motor output. Vena cava.
Pre-med.
But she wouldn't be here
Evolutionary development.
without your help. Please support the United Negro College Fund, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Syllabus for Chem 2.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to the Morning Show. I'm Ryan Spurney. An exciting new addition to our morning show lineup this year is America's Wildest Places. Each month we take a visual and audio tour of one of America's national wildlife refuges, brought to you by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. You'll learn about the plants and animals at each one, as well as what the different seasons of the year brings. Enjoy the sights and sounds of America's Wildest Places.
Peace at last, away from the hustle and bustle of urban life. Yes, there are times when our community may seem as crowded and busy as your own. But take a stroll along our tree-shaded streets. Meet our movers and shakers. Listen to our choir. Visit our favorite watering holes and our town square, and you'll see that there's a world of difference here. Welcome to Crab Orchard National Wildlife Refuge, a unique place to experience nature. From the start, Crab Orchard has been different from every other refuge in the system. Although wildlife conservation is its central mission, The refuge is also required to provide land for industry, agriculture, and recreation. Farmers still work some of the land. However, the human activities are not allowed to impact the wildlife, and in many cases are beneficial. Crops on the 5,000 acres of farmland are only partially harvested. The rest is left for Canada geese and other wildlife to eat during the winter. Another 2,000 acres are used for cattle grazing, but the cattle are removed in October to make way for the arriving geese. The refuge also has some unique opportunities for outdoor recreation, helping to make it the 5th most visited refuge in the system. However, most of our more than 1 million visitors come to enjoy our flora and fauna, and there's plenty to see in every season. Along our hiking trails and wildlife drives, visitors can encounter over 500 species of plants, 43 mammal species, 50 species of reptiles and amphibians, and our pride and joy, 269 species of birds. As spring appears on the refuge, the overwintering birds head north to their breeding grounds. They make way for other migrant flocks, which stop over at Crab Orchard to rest and feed on their way north. Thousands of mallards, widgeon, scaup, mergansers, and other ducks can be seen during this spring migration. Some birds stay here year-round, including the colorful wood ducks, which nest in man-made boxes along the creeks and lake shorelines. 2 pairs of bald eagles also nest here in the wilderness area. As the weather warms, the refuge's mammal population becomes more visible. Beaver and the effects of their work can be seen along the shorelines. The damage they do to the trees is offset by the excellent waterfowl habitat they create. Raccoon, coyote, and white-tailed deer are also common on the refuge. The highlight of spring at Crab Orchard is its glorious wildflower display. The flowering species bloom in succession from late February until the end of summer. But April is the peak month for nature's finery. Whether you are a frequent visitor here or a first-timer, Crab Orchard National Wildlife Refuge has much to offer you. We hope you enjoy your time in our unusual community, where human activity and wildlife exist together in harmony.
I like that segment. It is really neat to learn about all these places right here in the U.S.
I know, there are so many different animals and wildlife. It's amazing.
I'll have to plan to visit to a refuge.
Me too.
While we plan our visits, let's send our viewers over to Airly, who is standing by with our first look at your school news. Good morning, Airly.
Good morning, and welcome to Your School News on the Morning Show. I'm Airly Ward. As a part of North Carolina Disabilities Employment Awareness Month, New Hanover County Schools' Transition Advisory Team held the What's Next in Your Life Transition Fair for students and parents with disabilities and special needs. We get this report on the event from Chase Fulton.
It was a big day for the school system's transition department as they held their annual transition fair for students from Mosley Performance Learning Center, Ashley, Hoggard, Laney, and New Hanover High Schools. The fair, designed to help high school students with disabilities and their families plan for life after high school, featured both Wilmington-area agencies and employers.
We also have it for helping our students to plan for transition beyond high school. What are they going to do? Employment, post-secondary education, independent living, and to connect these students with agencies in the community and with employers. So,
the fair offered students and their families the opportunity to meet with private and public agencies that provide a variety of transition support services. The event was a convenient way to learn about resources available for transitioning youth. This year even featured representatives offering training opportunities and post-secondary programs to help individuals prepare to move from high school to life after high school.
And this provides a great opportunity to meet students and meet teachers as well as parents to inform them about what we're offering at UNC Greensboro.
The Transition Fair also drew representatives from Petco, True Green Land Care, Lowe's Home Improvement, Stevenson Acura, and Kmart.
I think it's very important to be here to show that Sears Holding likes to partner with the community. We were here at the Transition Fair last year, met a lot of potential applicants, and we just want them to know that there is a resource in the community at Kmart.
This year's Transition Fair also included evening breakout sessions. Sessions included presentations on legal questions and concerns, vocational rehabilitation services, and the roles and responsibilities of families and students in the post-secondary and employment settings. The fair exposed students and parents to the employment and educational opportunities, as well as the community services that are available to them in the greater Wilmington area. Most importantly, the fair helped to install confidence in young men and women who are preparing for what's next in their lives. Reporting for Your School News, this is Chase Fulton.
Karen Erickson, a visiting artist from the Kennedy Center, was a guest teacher at Snipes Academy of Arts and Design. During her 3-day visit, she held workshops for teachers and then put her lessons into action with groups of students. During her visit, teachers discovered how to build vocabulary skills, improve reading comprehension, and expand writing techniques through drama integration.
That a lot of the drama techniques that Karen has shared with us really can translate over to classroom management and creating that positive learning environment. And a lot of the things that she taught us was that you can teach the behaviors that you want your children to have through nonverbal communication, and it's really awesome. She does a lot of mnemonic devices, a lot of reiteration, and I found that in just the short 3 days that we spent together with her, that the kids retain a lot of information through actions and through being really engaged and involved in the lessons versus a lot of a lecture. It's a lot of participation from the students.
Participants in the workshops explored ways to transform language arts lessons into active student-centered explorations of story elements, word choice, fluency, comprehension, writing, and characterization through drama strategies such as expressive movement, ensemble, story dramatization, and character development. Snipes teachers learned about activities that develop teamwork and creative problem-solving skills in students through activities that help improve grammar, predicting, inferring skills, and adding details to writing assignments. Ms. Erickson works with the Kennedy Center's professional development programs, including Changing Education Through the Arts. She is a certified teacher in English, speech communications, and theater education for grades K through 12. Finally, during the month, we will feature a series of special reports on student health and well-being. The series will focus on the key programs that New Hanover County Schools has put into place to help with student health. If a student has an asthma attack, gets in an accident on the playground, or experiences a sugar spike, it's the school nurse who will get the child back to class or to the doctor. When a student sprains something, swallows something, or has any other acute health issue, the person who matters most at the moment is the school nurse. In part 1 of our series, we take a look at the key role a student nurse plays in a student's health. We get the report from Cassie Williamson.
The practice of school nursing began in the United States on October 1, 1902, when a school nurse was hired to reduce absenteeism by intervening with students and families regarding health care needs related to communicable diseases. Today, the school nurse's role has expanded greatly from its original focus, although the essence and goals of the practice remains the same.
The role of the school nurse is so much more than just Band-Aids and ice packs in this day and age. We are now seeing much more chronic health issues with our school children. We're seeing allergies, we're seeing asthma, diabetes, seizures. So we have to be much more autonomous in our thinking and be able to meet those needs in the schools and work collaboratively with the community to help the parents with resources outside of the schools and make sure that the kids' needs are met in the school and outside of the school.
A student's health status is directly related to his or her ability to learn. Children with unmet health needs have a difficult time engaging in the educational process. Statistics show that 15 to 18% of children and youth have some sort of chronic health condition, and nearly half of these students have a condition that impacts their life to the point that they could be considered medically disabled. That translates to 18 out of every 100 students in every school have a health condition that impact their ability to be successful in the classroom. The school nurse supports student success by providing health care through assessment, intervention, and follow-up for all children within the school setting.
The school nurse, first of all, meets the health needs of the student. We also work collaboratively with the school health counselors, the mental health therapist, the social workers, so that we can meet the needs both health-wise and also socially, mentally, and environmentally, so that children can be successful both in and out of school.
School nursing has multiple components, and the role of the school nurse is a broad one, dependent on many factors, including the school setting, health needs of the student population, and the availability of specialized instructional student support services and programs.
Our nurses have been extremely helpful for us. Number one, if you have epidemics or the threat of epidemic in a school, you've got a health department official right there on site to help you through it all. And you know, we've had a couple of those with the H1N1 scare a few years ago. Every time you have a situation involving mold in a school, you have a health department official there to help you through all that.
Healthy children are successful learners. The school nurse has a multifaceted role within the school setting, one that supports the physical, mental, emotional, and social health of students and their success in the learning process.
Parents are the #1 link to keeping their children happy and healthy. The biggest thing they can do to help the school and the school nurse is to communicate. Keep the lines of communication open. Always provide a working phone number for us or a way that we can reach them, so that we can work with them to help their student be successful. It's also good role modeling. So when children see us working with their parents, we're role modeling for future behaviors.
The school nurse is the first line of defense in keeping students healthy and ready to learn. They provide a crucial role in the seamless provision of comprehensive health services to children and youth. With increasing numbers of students entering school each day, the school nurse is the best way to provide for the well-being, academic success, and lifelong achievement of all students. Reporting for Your School News, this is Cassie Williamson.
For all of the latest on New Hanover County Schools, join us weekdays at 5:30 p.m. here on Time Warner Cable Channel 5 and Charter Cable Channel 12. For Your School News, a complete half hour of all the latest news and information from New Hanover County Schools. Now back to our hosts.
Thanks, Airly. In addition to watching Your School News and the morning show, you can see many of NHCS TV's programming online.
Just go to the school system's website at www.nhcs.net and click on the NHCS TV video library link under items of interest right there on the front page.
You can watch great programs there like the Sports Roundtable, the Forum, and Up Front with the Superintendent.
It's an excellent way to watch our programming whenever you want.
With help of a UNCW professor, Hoggard High School recently became the first school in the county with a GLSEN chapter. Our noteworthy host, Abby Bowman, sat down with Dr. James DeVita to talk about the chapter and its creation.
Welcome to Noteworthy. My name is Abby Bowman and I am here with Dr. James DeVita, Assistant Professor of Higher Education at UNCW. Today, I'm talking with Dr. DeVita about his work in getting a GLSEN chapter up and running in Wilmington. So tell me, Dr. DeVita, what exactly is GLSEN?
GLSEN is the Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network, and it's a national organization that really looks at developing safer schools and communities through educational partnerships between folks who work within the community, the local community, and schools to actually build things like gay-straight alliances and create opportunities for LGBTQ identified individuals and allies to come together.
So you kind of answered my question, but how is the GLSEN chapter going to work with the schools?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is bring together a number of different community entities, including folks from UNCW's campus, other LGBTQ-focused organizations in town, such as PFLAG and Out Wilmington, to support students within the schools in developing things like a Gay Straight Alliance, which brings students who identify across the LGBTQIA spectrum together with straight allies to do educational and social programming in schools to sort of make things better and make safer schools and safer places for students to feel comfortable coming out.
So with your work with the schools, you think this will help to prevent some of the bullying in the schools, hopefully?
Yeah, you know, bullying is a difficult topic that has many, many layers to it. And any time that we have folks who are willing to sort of step up and take action and come together and do work that creates a safer environment, we hope that it trickles down into creating an environment where bullying isn't tolerated and isn't welcome in the schools. And it's going to take a collaborative effort across students, faculty, administration, and community members to do that work. But that's definitely one of the outcomes that we would hope to see is a safer environment would lead to really sort of more celebration of identities and acceptance in those schools and a less likelihood for bullying.
And you've been a big part in helping with the Hoggard Gay Straight Alliance getting started up this year. Do you hope that this club spreads to some of the other schools, and do you think GLSEN will be able to help get these up and running if there's any difficulties with it getting started at the schools?
Yeah, one of the big initiatives for GLSEN at the national level is to work on gay straight alliances and get them into schools. And we noticed in Wilmington in particular, there was a real absence of those organizations within the schools in the area. And so, you know, I've been instrumental, but you and folks at Hoggard were really sort of the impetus to get that Gay Straight Alliance up and running. And so it's going to be through partnerships within the schools with people who can actually enact the organizations and do the work within those schools that we'll be supporting as much as we possibly can.
And do you think that students in the schools who are interested in getting these sort of clubs started can reach out to GLSEN for some help in getting it? And how can students work to eliminate bullying themselves in school?
Yeah, you know, one of the big things is to take action. And so if you hear someone who is bullying someone else, that it's important to speak up and to say something as much as you can in the moment. Obviously, we don't want students to put, you know, their own sort of safety and wellness at risk in any of those situations, but it's always important to speak up and to take actions. Anytime we have straight individuals who are willing to come together with folks who identify as LGBTQ, it creates that much more of a powerful alliance to stand up and to take action, safety in numbers. It's going to be really through those partnerships. Typically, our straight identified individuals and allies are going to well outnumber the students who are actually openly identified as LGBTQ in the school. And so their willingness to step up and take action to form gay straight alliances, to take up leadership within those organizations, to do educational programming of their straight peers is really going to be important and instrumental in trying to eliminate bullying and create more safer environments.
And how can students watching at home get involved with GLSEN?
So one way is to actually reach out directly to me or to you or to other folks who have started doing work on developing a gay straight alliance, to get involved sort of locally within their own school and community, to begin to develop an organization and create those partnerships between folks within the school. Going to GLSEN's website, glisten.org, and taking a look at the resources they have in terms of educational and social programming ideas and ways to actually develop programs and to take actions within your local communities is another great way to get started. We have several organizations that are already up and running in Wilmington. Mark Mazzone, who's a part of the GLSEN chapter here and it getting up and running, has been instrumental in outwilmington.com, which is a website really that sort of collectively brings together resources from across the community. PFLAG of Wilmington is another organization that's been active within the local community, and the folks, J.C. Cardwell, who is a part of that organization's leadership, is connected to GLSEN as well. The LGBTQIA office at UNCW, which is something that students could access, has a connection to GLSEN. So we really tried to reach out to all of the already existing partnerships and bring them together to create an environment. Getting connected with any one of those individual organizations would get students connected back to GLSEN. But we would love to have some more gay straight alliances in the local schools And we really see this as an opportunity to reach the entire region and not just the city of Wilmington itself. So we're hoping to partner with folks in Brunswick County, Topsail, Jacksonville even, to sort of create a region that's more inclusive.
Okay, thank you. Once again, I'd like to thank my guest, Dr. DeVita. That's all for Noteworthy. Back to you.
Thanks, Abby. Hopefully with chapters like GLSEN, more students will become educated about differences and bullying will decrease in our schools.
Yes, and now that Hoggard has a chapter, maybe the other high schools will start one too.
Now don't go away. This rip-roaring edition of the morning show will continue right after our break. But before we go, we have our trivia question of the day. Today's show is all about the dinosaur. Everyone knows the dinosaurs ruled the earth. However, were they the first reptiles to do so? Our trivia asks, were the dinosaurs the first reptiles to rule the earth? Yes or no?
We'll have the answer when we return.
This is Lands and People, your passport to the world.
The Kingdom of Cambodia is part of the historic Rice Bowl of mainland Southeast Asia. About 90% of Cambodia's population of Khmer, which is what ethnic Cambodians have historically called themselves. Its chief agricultural products are rice, rubber, and corn. Industries include rice milling, fishing, and wood products. Cambodia's capital is Phnom Penh.
This has been Lands and People, your passport to the world.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach
likes
your
you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Are you the weakest link at your bus stop? Because you don't know the bus stop safety rules. When riding on the bus, stay in your seats. Don't stick anything out the windows. Listen to the bus driver. Follow his or her directions. Talk quietly with your friends. Don't throw things in the bus. Safety and the big yellow bus keeps everyone safe and sound.
Welcome back to the morning show. This week we're featuring the dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs ruled the earth for over 160 million years, from the Triassic period around 200 million years ago through the Jurassic period and until the end of the Cretaceous period around 65 million years ago.
Dinosaurs had an impressive run. Today our trivia question asks, were dinosaurs the first reptiles to rule the earth? Yes or no? The correct answer is no.
The first reptiles evolved from their amphibian forebears during the late Carboniferous period over 300 million years ago, while the first true dinosaurs didn't appear until well into the Triassic period about 230 million years ago.
In between, the earth was dominated by various families of prehistoric reptiles, including therapsids, pelycosaurs, and archosaurs.
The archosaurs eventually split off into pterosaurs, crocodiles, and our dinosaur friends.
While learning about dinosaurs is fun, it's time now for Snapshots, where we take quick looks at some of the positives going on around our school system.
Students in Mr. Ward's physics class at Ashley High had a chance to put science to the test. The class went outside to prove the impulse equation. The students could not break an egg by throwing it into a sheet because the sheet gives enough that the force is reduced to a level insufficient for breakage.
5th grade students at Freeman Elementary completed a unit on environmental engineering. In the unit, students had to use the engineering design process to devise a way to help with an oil spill cleanup to save the ecosystem. While working together in teams, students learned about concepts related to ecosystems, pollution, and environmental engineering.
Miss Dorothy Hodder from the public library downtown came to visit the 1st grade students at Gregory in celebration of National Hispanic Month. While she was at Gregory, she read a few books including Paco and the Giant Chili Plant and My Papa Diego and Me. The students learned how to count from 10 in Spanish, and then she taught them a song, Buenos Dias, good morning.
The New Hanover High Marching Band helped DC Virgo celebrate their inaugural football game. The Marching Wildcats got the crowd pumped up with a riveting pregame show. Then they performed as the halftime entertainment. The Virgo middle schoolers were excited about their first football game and the marching band's performance.
Kim Leggett, 1st grade teacher at Alderman Elementary, was recognized by Office Max for her contribution to education. After being anonymously nominated, Miss Leggett was selected by the staff to receive over $1,000 worth of classroom supplies, including a new desk chair, a Kindle Fire, and a digital camera. Aldermen also received over $600 worth of supplies to be distributed among the classrooms.
During the American Red Cross blood drive held at Hoggard High School, students graciously donated blood. The Red Cross collected 80 units of blood that will be separated into 3 components of platelets, plasma, and red cells, which will impact up to 240 lives.
That was this month's Snapshots.
Alright, now it's time for this week's lunch menu. This is the menu for Monday, November 11th through Monday, November 18th.
On November 11th, celebrate veterans by enjoying a healthy lunch with your veteran in your life. Remember, there's no school that day.
Then, on Tuesday, November 12th, satisfy your appetite with a meatball hoagie or popcorn chicken with a dinner roll. Also take pleasure in macaroni and cheese, parsley potatoes, a garden salad, and fresh fruit.
On Wednesday, November 13th, race to the nearest lunch line and grab your choice of General Tso's chicken with rice or enjoy chicken egg rolls. While you're in the lunch line, be sure to add oriental vegetables, a garden salad, applesauce, and Jell-O with topping.
On Thursday, November 14th, get your grub on with teriyaki beef dippers with fried rice and a dinner roll or breaded mozzarella sticks. Keep the good stuff coming as you pile on succulent glazed carrots, garden salad, and fresh fruit.
Then, on Friday, November 15th, treat yourself to a delectable hot dog with chili or chicken and rice soup with a biscuit. Also take pleasure in pasta salad, baked beans, carrot sticks, garden salad, and a peach crisp.
Finally, on Monday, November 18th, have a fantastically good time at lunch and enjoy chicken fajita with cornbread or a corn dog. Stay healthy by piling on tasty northern beans, sweet potato casserole, garden salad, and a frozen fruit cup.
And there you have the lunch menu for this week.
Don't forget, you can also start your day off with a healthy and hearty breakfast at school.
There are over 5,600 endangered animals in the world today. Each of these animals are facing a risk of extinction, yet they all add something unique to our world. There are many different causes which lower animal populations, and each animal has its own story. Today we feature one of these animals, the Florida panther, on our new segment, Endangered Animals.
Florida panthers have short, light brown fur and a white muzzle and chest. They have long tails with a crook in it. The panthers grow between 6 and 8 feet long and can weigh up to 160 pounds. Florida panthers are very solitary animals. They are only found in the very most southern tip of the Florida Peninsula. An adult panther maintains a home range to live and hunt in. A male panther's range is very large and averages 275 square miles, which overlaps with the smaller home ranges of females. The females raise their young alone within their range. The panthers mark their boundaries with scents and they rarely fight over territory. The average lifespan for the Florida panther is 10 to 15 years. Their main diet is the white-tailed deer, although they are also known to eat smaller game such as hog, rabbit, raccoon, armadillo, and birds. The Florida panther is the most active at dusk and dawn. They tend to rest during the day. They can swim across wide bodies of water, have a keen sense of smell, and excellent depth perception. Florida panthers can run up to 35 miles per hour, but only for a short distance. Their preferred method of hunting is to creep close to their prey and launch a short spring attack. The Florida panther is the state animal of Florida and one of the most endangered animals in the world. Currently, there are only about 80 to 100 panthers left in the wild. Loss of habitat, health, and humans are the main threats to Florida panthers in the wild. Due to the large home range and the loss of habitat, mostly through human developments, the population has declined. However, unlike many endangered animals, humans are not the largest cause of decline. Florida panthers have an unusually large number of health problems. This is largely due to inbreeding and genetic defects. In addition, a percentage of the population has died from mercury poisoning by eating raccoons high in mercury. Collisions with automobiles have also added to the decline. To help save this nearly extinct species, plans which focus on 3 areas of action are being put into effect. The first area of action is to preserve and expand their habitat. The next part is to breed more panthers in captivity, to release into the wild. And the third action area is being done by scientists. They are exploring ways to increase the panther's genetic variability. Working together, we can make sure that the Florida panthers have a history on this planet as long as ours.
I never knew Florida had its own species of panther which lives only there.
That is neat, and each one has such a large area they consider their own. It is impressive.
Hopefully, with our help, they can make a comeback as a species.
I hope so. I found it interesting that they are endangered in large parts due to genetics from inbreeding.
Yes, usually when I hear about endangered animals, I think it is because of something humans have done. Hopefully, scientists can get the Florida panther back on track.
Let's hope so. Now don't go away. The best morning show in New Hanover County continues right after this break.
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Rob, what's up? How's it going? Guys, this is my cousin Rob from Michigan.
What's up?
He's a teenager.
Hey, what's totally. All right. Oh, hey, you want to slow down? No. Really? Huh. Hey, you know what a beautiful animal is? A horse. A horse. Yeah. Beautiful mane. Unbelievable muscle tone. When it runs, it looks like poetry in motion. It's the most beautiful thing on earth. And sometimes when you feed a horse, its lips will tickle your hand. Just tickle it just a little bit. It makes me giggle sometimes. I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you don't slow down, I'm gonna bite into your head like an apple. And thanks, guys, for listening to my horse stories. I could talk about ponies all day long.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Ryan Spurney. A longtime favorite in Your School News was a feature from the North Carolina Zoo at Asheboro. The Zoo Files has moved to the morning show, and we are glad to bring you another great episode. One of the North Carolina Zoo's most popular animals is back on exhibit after a 2-year sabbatical. Rod Hackney tells us about the return of Aquila, the polar bear, in today's first installment of the Zoo Files.
After an absence of nearly 2 years, Aquila, one of the North Carolina Zoo's 2 polar bears, has returned while construction continues on an $8.5 million expansion of the polar bear exhibit. Visitors and staff alike have been excited by the return of one of the zoo's most popular animals. Keeper Supervisor Jeff Owen tells us about the reason for Aquila's 2-year sabbatical and how the public has responded to his return.
The expansion project was a really big project that involved a lot of different things. So we realized pretty quickly that we would not be able to work around the bears to do all that. So we found 2 zoos, Detroit and Milwaukee, that could take our 2 bears and give them a good home, a good exhibit, good staff while we did all this work. So they've been gone for 2 years, and now we've got Aquila back because we've got the old section ready to go. So we talked about it and thought that Aquila was the best bear to come back first. He spent the majority of his life here, but he's been here and left and returned 3 times. So he's a very smart bear, and when he gets back here, he settles in pretty well. He knows the keeper's routine, so even being gone several years, he knew he was home. So work continues right now in the new exhibit and the new holding area and some of the visitor amenities. The expansion project set us up well for receiving more bears and exhibiting more bears than we did in the past. Once we're open with the new area, we're going to have one of the premier polar bear exhibits and facilities in the country, including our facilities for breeding and rearing. The possibility of having cubs here is just almost beyond imagination. It'll be a big hit with the visitors, it'll be a big hit with the staff, and it'll be a great accomplishment for the species because polar bears in captivity are dwindling in numbers. So anytime you can be successful in breeding, you're really helping the species in the long run.
While much more work needs to be done on the polar bear expansion, having Aquila back is a major step in one of the largest expansion projects in the zoo's history. If you'd like to learn more, please visit our website at nczoo.org. I'm Rod Hackney reporting for the Zoo Files, connecting your life to wildlife.
The North Carolina Zoo near Asheboro is open year-round. For more information, call 1-800-488-0444 or visit the zoo website at www.nczoo.org.
Look for a new episode of the Zoo Files each month here on The Morning Show.
Early in the show, we gave you a few dinosaur facts. Now we're going to look at the top myths surrounding dinosaurs and give you the facts.
The first and probably most believed myth is that an asteroid impact alone killed all the dinosaurs in a few years. This is one of the many theories and not a fact. One of the latest theories developing was that a combination of events led to the demise of the dinosaurs. This includes volcanoes, environmental changes, falling sea levels combined with an asteroid impact. And these changes slowly killed off the dinosaurs over 200,000 years.
Another popular myth is that all dinosaurs had green scaly skin. There's something about a brightly colored or feathered dinosaur that doesn't seem quite right to modern eyes. After all, contemporary reptiles are green and scaly, and that's the way dinosaurs are always portrayed by Hollywood. The fact is, though, that even scaly-skinned dinosaurs probably sported bright colors like red or orange, and scientists are certain that most theropods were covered with feathers at some stage of their life cycles.
Our next myth, all dinosaurs were huge and menacing. This widespread myth is easily explained. People, and especially kids, are fascinated with enormous creatures, with the result that dinosaurs like Argentinosaurus and Spinosaurus have garnered a disproportionate share of attention. However, most dinosaurs were fairly small in the 5 to 100 pound range, making huge behemoths the exception rather than the rule.
Dinosaurs have left no living descendants is a myth that is slowly fading. Today we have an ample physical evidence pointing to the fact that modern birds evolved from dinosaurs. If you want to impress your friends, you can even make that the case that ostriches, chickens, pigeons, and sparrows are more closely related to dinosaurs than any reptiles or lizards alive today.
And our final myth, dinosaurs and humans lived at the same time, also known as the Flintstones fallacy. Granted, this misconception is less widespread than it used to be. Even today, kids' cartoons routinely portray cavemen and tyrannosaurs living side by side. People unfamiliar with the concept of deep time don't appreciate the 65 million year gulf between the last dinosaurs and the first human beings.
There you have the real dinosaur facts. Now let's send it over to the news desk for more Your School News with Airlie Ward.
Thank you, Ryan and Jackie, and welcome everyone to Your School News here on The Morning Show. College Park Elementary recently had a family reading night, and students were encouraged to dress as their favorite book characters. This was a special time for the entire school family as they came together and enjoyed reading books. The festivities included special arts and crafts and dozens of stories read by both teachers and parents. Costumes at this year's family reading night included Merlin from The Legend of King Arthur, Glinda the Good Witch from The Wizard of Oz, and quirky characters from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Researchers at Edinburgh University have pointed out that dressing up like characters in a favorite book can be a profound experience. Children are more willing to participate in reading, and it helps them recognize the importance of books. It also allows the book to come alive for the child as they act out their favorite parts. Both cookies and drinks were served at this year's College Park Family Reading Night, and the book fair was also open for purchases. New Hanover County Schools students were named among the semifinalists. This past September, officials of the National Merit Scholarship Corporation announced the names of approximately 16,000 semifinalists in the 59th Annual National Merit Scholarship Program. We are thrilled to announce both Isaac Bear Early College High School and Hoggard High School have student semifinalists. We have a report from YSN reporter E.J. McGonigal.
About 1.5 million juniors and more than 22,000 high schools entered the 2014 National Merit Scholarship Program by taking the 2012 Preliminary SAT National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test, which served as an initial screen of program entrance. The nationwide pool of semifinalists, representing less than 1% of U.S. high school seniors, includes the highest scoring entrants in each state. This year, 9 New Hanover County Schools students were named among the semifinalists. They are, from Isaac Bear Early College High School, Anna V. Dykes, Zaid A. Khatib, and Natalie D. Kretschmer. From Hoggard High School, Caroline M. Turvo, Nathaniel P. Hansen, Bonnie G. Hugh, Daniel J. Ogerchuk, Sarah L. Spalding, and Catherine T. Burt.
Well, I mean, obviously it's an honor. And I did study a lot for that test, so I feel kind of justified in all the work I put into it now. I am really excited about it, though.
These academically talented high school seniors have the opportunity to continue in the competition for some 8,000 scholarships worth about $35 million that will be offered next spring. To become a finalist, the semifinalists and their high school must submit a detailed scholarship application in which they provide information about the semifinalists' academic record, participation in school and community activities, demonstrated leadership abilities, employment, and honors and awards received. A semifinalist must have an outstanding academic record throughout high school, be endorsed and recommended by a high school official, write an essay, and earn SAT scores that confirm the student's earlier performance on the qualifying test. National Merit Scholarship winners of 2014 will be announced in 4 nationwide news releases beginning in April and concluding in July. These scholarship recipients will join more than 300,000 other distinguished young people who have earned the Merit Scholar title. Reporting for Your School News, this is E.J. McGonigal.
Nearly 3 years after the launch of the nation's first statewide Microsoft IT Academy, North Carolina students and teachers have earned more than 100,000 professional certifications through the innovative program. Right here in New Hanover County Schools, close to 1,000 students and teachers participating in the program have earned their certifications. The Microsoft IT Academy offers digital access to instructional curriculum and certifications that enable students to learn Microsoft computer programs such as Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Access. Because the Academy includes computer-based instruction in addition to traditional instruction, students may take advantage of a variety of options in completing the programs at their own pace, both in the classroom and at home. Students earn certifications as a Microsoft Office Specialist or a Microsoft Certified Professional by completing the Microsoft IT Academy coursework and passing certification exams. Teachers also are able to obtain professional development and earn industry credentials through the program. For students interested in the Academy, you can find more information on the school system's website under Instruction. That's all for now. To watch this week's edition of Your School News online, visit the school system's website at www.nhcs.net and click on the video library link under Items of Interest on the home page. Now back over to Ryan and Jackie.
Thanks, Airly. It's good to hear about the scholarship semifinalists. Our Your School News team will keep us up to date on their progress, so keep it tuned to TLN.
It's also great to hear that so many students and staff are getting Microsoft certified. Having good computer skills and understanding is so important.
That it is. Getting certified in high school is definitely something that will help you in your future.
Our next segment features host Jamie Stalford. Each week she looks at a unique top 10 list that is informative and entertaining. From animals to food to entertainment and education, each episode counts down 10 items that are tops in their category. Follow along and see if you agree or disagree with the list.
Welcome to another exciting edition of The List. I'm Jamie Stalford, and this week we're taking a deep look into the eyes of some adorable creatures. However, these cute and cuddly animals all have one thing in common. They can be deadly. Most animals will do whatever it is necessary to remain free, protect their young, keep their territory, and eat a bellyful of something scrumptious. Let's look at a few of the least commonly recognized deadly animals on the planet, which also just happen to be among the most cute, beautiful, and graceful. Let's start the countdown of the top 10 cute but deadly animals. Coming in at number 10 is the stingray. The pool where you can pet the stingrays at the aquarium is always crowded. When Steve Crocodile Hunter Irwin died a few years back as a result of the stingray wound to the chest, the crowds grew a little sparse around the stingray pool. These seemingly docile creatures can easily hook their barbed stinger into the skin, sending out a toxin that promotes swelling and excruciating pain. Not so cute and friendly when you think about it, but they sure are fun to pet. Taking the number 9 spot is the swan. Swans are usually seen in romantic movies, floating gracefully on the lake. But in reality, these birds will stop at nothing to protect their young, even going to the brink of death. These creatures that can grow up to 30 pounds in weight are very aggressive when provoked and will bite and hit you without hesitation. The real danger, however, stands for those who are unable to swim, as swans have been known to fly over a perceived enemy, pushing them under the water until they drown. After hearing that information and having bad experiences myself, I am now terrified of these killer birds. At number 8 this week is the Siberian chipmunk. Aw, look at that sweet little thing. He stands at about 6 inches from head to tail and doesn't seem to be very intimidating. However, the real danger with these guys is the possibility of harboring disease. Siberian chipmunks have been known to carry Lyme disease and rabies, which if left untreated could cause neurological and heart problems in humans. The number 7 spot this week goes to the elephant. The elephant is truly a wondrous creature. They are peaceful, kind, loving, and have even been documented to tear whenever a mate or a child dies. With this said, no animal or creature is perfect, and there are times when an elephant can be extremely dangerous. The biggest problem lies in their pure size and strength. If an elephant gets grumpy, one sweep of its foot or joust of its tusk, and it's all over for whoever happens to be in its way. So be careful, these gentle giants are still very giant. Coming in at number 6 this week is the hippopotamus. Or hippos, as most of us call them, are mainly known for being really fat. However, despite weighing in at 8,000 pounds, they can chase a person down at speeds up to 20 miles an hour. Hippos kill people every year who approach their territory, either knowing or unknowing. With a jaw structure that enables them to clamp down at 6,000 pounds of pressure and canine teeth as large as 10 inches, they're not exactly an animal you want to irritate. So don't trust what you saw in Fantasia. These guys can be deadly. At number 5 this week is the bottlenose dolphin. Dolphins have been compared to humans on a number of fronts. They are intelligent, communicate with each other, have the ability to learn, do tricks, play jokes, and can almost use their fins as hands. How cute is that? However, other ocean creatures seem to have respect for these guys. Why? Even sharks know that these sea people have a violent side. Not only have they been known to kill and maim their own young, they also kill porpoises and play with their dead carcass for no apparent reason. Creepy, huh? We're almost there. Taking the number 4 spot this week is the chimpanzee. The chimpanzee has long been thought of as somewhat as an ancestor to man. They are the only mammals on the earth with such obvious similarities as hands, with opposable thumbs, brain function, and facial expressions. Another human likeness is the tendency for violence. Countless trained chimpanzee pets have also been known to turn on their owner or friends, causing serious damage. One important difference between a chimpanzee and human is their skeletal muscle structure. The chimp has as much as 5 times the strength of a human. That's a scary thought. Alright, coming in at number 3 is the duck-billed platypus. These little guys are the most confusing animal on earth, with their duck bills, thick fuzzy fur, and webbed feet. And most of all, they're adorable. The other unique attribute is a pair of 15mm long hollow spurs placed along the inside of their rear legs. Inside these spurs resides a moderate toxin, which can be quickly delivered to an enemy with a fleeing kick. The venom is deadly for small animals, and while not typically fatal for humans, causes excruciating pain that can last for weeks, if not months. How do you feel about the little guys now? In the number 2 spot today is the lovable polar bear. The beautiful polar bear has appeared in everything from cartoons, movies, and television ads, playing soft, fuzzy, gentle creatures who are as noble in their allegiance with the human race as they are adamant in their preference to the taste of Coca-Cola beverages. That being said, there is one problem. The polar bear is a bear. The largest carnivore on the continent of North America, it weighs up to 1,500 pounds and stands 10 feet tall. I'd say you'd better put down your Coke and run. And finally, drum roll please. The number 1 cute but deadly animal is the slow loris. These little guys are some of the cutest creatures on the planet. I mean, just look at those eyes. However, besides being one of the cutest mammals, it is also the most poisonous and venomous. They can produce a toxin through a gland on their elbow that, if eaten, could give you an extreme case of stomach pain. They can also suck this toxin out of their elbow and bite their victim to poison them. Yeesh, doesn't that seem like a little much? Well, that does it for this week's edition of The List. Whether you're running through a jungle or an icy tundra, it's best to know which animals to stay away from. I hope you learned something important. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Jamie Stauffer, and keep watching for another exciting edition of The List.
Well, this is an interesting list. Cute but deadly. It's hard to picture some of those being deadly. That loris is so cute with its big eyes.
And I always thought of dolphins as a peaceful animal.
I guess you just never know.
Coming up in our show, we have more dinosaur facts and more Your School News with Airlie Ward.
Here's a great moment in music. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Edgar Allan Poe led a troubled life plagued by poverty and the loss of the people he loved. Despite his problems, Poe produced a large body of work including short stories, essays, and poems. He died in Baltimore at the age of 40, but his stories and poems live on, read by millions of readers in America and around the world. This background in literature has been brought to you by New Hanover County Schools on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
You think you're invincible. I started out taking 1 to 2. I ended up taking 7 to 10. Nothing goes the way that people expect it to go. You don't remember things you're doing. Your body hurts. I would wake up sometimes like shaking. You're just worn down. It's physically painful. Once I hit my absolute bottom, I just wanted to die. I see a lot of people now that aren't in the hole as deep as I am, but they're making choices that could take them there one day.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Welcome back to the Morning Show. I'm Ryan Spurney. It's now time for our tasty segment, Food Facts. In this feature, a specialist from the New Hanover County Child Nutrition Office joins us with important information for living healthy and happy lives. This week, Sydney Filippo gives us 10 tips on how to make healthy eating choices during the holidays.
It's holiday season, and that means there will be plenty of parties and feasts to attend. It can be a struggle to eat healthy around the holidays. Today I'll be giving you 10 tips to help you make healthy choices over the holidays. Be realistic. Don't try to lose weight during the holidays. Instead, try to maintain your current weight. Plan a time for exercise. Exercise can help to relieve stress and prevent weight gain. Holidays can be a very stressful time, so including moderate daily activity can be helpful. Increasing daily activity can also help to offset holiday meals. Try a 10 or 15-minute brisk walk twice a day. This can be something good to get your whole family involved in. It will help to offset that dreaded tired feeling you get after eating too much turkey. Don't skip meals. Before you leave for a party, eat a light snack. This can be something like raw vegetables or a piece of fruit. It will help curb your appetite. That way you will be less tempted to overindulge. Look at the whole buffet or table before filling your plate. A good tactic is to choose your favorite foods. That way you can skip over your least favorite. When making your selections, try to choose some fruits and vegetables too. It will help keep your plate in balance. Eat until you're satisfied and not stuffed. Enjoy your favorite holiday treats, but eat a smaller portion. It can be helpful to sit down and get comfortable. That way, you're less likely to go back and get seconds. Be careful with beverages. Non-alcoholic beverages can have a ton of calories and sugar. For those who are able to drink alcohol, it can lessen your inhibitions and increase the possibility of overeating. Consider sticking to water or unsweetened beverages. If you overeat at one meal, go light on the next. It takes 500 calories per day or 3,500 per week above your normal maintenance consumption to gain 1 pound. So it's impossible to gain weight from one piece of pie. Don't be too hard on yourself. Take the focus off of food. Turn your holiday baking time into non-edible projects. This can be something like making wreaths, dough art, or a gingerbread house. You could also plan group activities and with family and friends that aren't all about food. Maybe think about hosting a game night or plan to go on a holiday walking tour in downtown Wilmington. Bring your own healthy dish to holiday gatherings. Practice healthy holiday cooking. Prepare your favorite dishes so they're lower in fat and calories to help promote healthy holiday eating in your own home. Some examples are to use a little bit less bread in your stuffing. Instead, think about adding more onion, garlic, and celery to your stuffing. Add fruits like cranberries or apples can also be a good solution. To moisten and flavor the dressing, add a low sodium or chicken or vegetable broth or applesauce. Take the skin off your turkey. You can save 11 grams of saturated fat per 3 ounces serving by taking off the skin. Use chunks of potatoes in your green bean casserole instead of creamy soup. You can also top the casserole with almonds instead of those great onion rings. Use skim milk in your mashed potatoes. And for dessert, make a crustless pumpkin pie. I'm Sydney Flippo with the new Hanover County Schools Child Nutrition Department. I hope these tips will lead you to a healthy and happy holiday season.
Let's switch over to the news desk now for Your School News with Airlie Ward.
Good morning, and welcome to Your School News on the Morning Show. I'm Airlie Ward. As a part of North Carolina Disabilities Employment Awareness Month, New Hanover County Schools' Transition Advisory Team held the What's Next in Your Life Transition Fair for students and parents with disabilities and special needs. We get this report on the event from Chase Fulton.
It was a big day for the school system's transition department as they held their annual transition fair for students from Mosley Performance Learning Center, Ashley, Hoggard, Laney, and New Hanover High Schools. The fair, designed to help high school students with disabilities and their families plan for life after high school, featured both Wilmington-area agencies and employers.
We also have it for helping our students to plan for transition beyond high school. What are they going to do? Employment, post-secondary education, independent living, and to connect these students with agencies in the community and with employers. So,
the fair offered students and their families the opportunity to meet with private and public agencies that provide a variety of transition support services. The event was a convenient way to learn about resources available for transitioning youth. This year even featured representatives offering training opportunities and post-secondary programs to help individuals prepare to move from high school to life after high school.
And this provides a great opportunity to meet students and meet teachers as well as parents to inform them about what we're offering at UNC Greensboro.
The Transition Fair also drew representatives from Petco, True Green Land Care, Lowe's Home Improvement, Stevenson Acura, and Kmart.
I think it's very important to be here to show that Sears Holding likes to partner with the community. We were here at the Transition Fair last year, met a lot of potential applicants, and we just want them to know that there is a resource in the community at Kmart.
This year's Transition Fair also included evening breakout sessions. Sessions included presentations on legal questions and concerns, vocational rehabilitation services, and the roles and responsibilities of families and students in the post-secondary and employment settings. The fair exposed students and parents to the employment and educational opportunities, as well as the community services that are available to them in the greater Wilmington area. Most importantly, the fair helped to install confidence in young men and women who are preparing for what's next in their lives. Reporting for Your School News, this is Chase Fulton.
Karen Erickson, a visiting artist from the Kennedy Center, was a guest teacher at Snipes Academy of Arts and Design. During her 3-day visit, she held workshops for teachers and then put her lessons into action with groups of students. During her visit, teachers discovered how to build vocabulary skills, improve reading comprehension, and expand writing techniques through drama integration.
That a lot of the drama techniques that Karen has shared with us really can translate over to classroom management and creating that positive learning environment. And a lot of the things that she taught us was that you can teach the behaviors that you want your children to have through nonverbal communication, and it's really awesome. She does a lot of mnemonic devices, a lot of reiteration, and I found that in just the short 3 days that we spent together with her, that the kids retain a lot of information through actions and through being really engaged and involved in the lessons versus a lot of a lecture. It's a lot of participation from the students.
Participants in the workshops explored ways to transform language arts lessons into active student-centered explorations of story elements, word choice, fluency, comprehension, writing, and characterization through drama strategies such as expressive movement, ensemble, story dramatization, and character development. Snipes teachers learned about activities that develop teamwork and creative problem-solving skills in students through activities that help improve grammar, predicting, inferring skills, and adding details to writing assignments. Ms. Erickson works with the Kennedy Center's professional development programs, including Changing Education Through the Arts. She is a certified teacher in English, speech communications, and theater education for grades K through 12. Finally, during the month, we will feature a series of special reports on student health and well-being. The series will focus on the key programs that New Hanover County Schools has put into place to help with student health. If a student has an asthma attack, gets in an accident on the playground, or experiences a sugar spike, it's the school nurse who will get the child back to class or to the doctor. When a student sprains something, swallows something, or has any other acute health issue, the person who matters most at the moment is the school nurse. In part 1 of our series, we take a look at the key role a student nurse plays in a student's health. We get the report from Cassie Williamson.
The practice of school nursing began in the United States on October 1st, 1902, when a school nurse was hired to reduce absenteeism by intervening with students and families regarding health care needs related to communicable diseases. Today, the school nurse's role has expanded greatly from its original focus, although the essence and goals of the practice remains the same.
The role of the school nurse is so much more than just Band-Aids and ice packs in this day and age. We are now seeing much more chronic health issues with our school children. We're seeing allergies, we're seeing asthma, diabetes, seizures. So we have to be much more autonomous in our thinking and be able to meet those needs in the schools and work collaboratively with the community to help the parents with resources outside of the schools and make sure that the kids' needs are met in the school and outside of the school.
A student's health status is directly related to his or her ability to learn. Children with unmet health needs have a difficult time engaging in the educational process. Statistics show that 15 to 18% of children and youth have some sort of chronic health condition, and nearly half of these students have a condition that impacts their life to the point that they could be considered medically disabled. That translates to 18 out of every 100 students in every school have a health condition that impact their ability to be successful in the classroom. The school nurse supports student success by providing health care through assessment, intervention, and follow-up for all children within the school setting.
The school nurse first of all, meets the health needs of the student. We also work collaboratively with the school health counselors, the mental health therapist, the social workers, so that we can meet the needs both health-wise and also socially, mentally, and environmentally, so that children can be successful both in and out of school.
School nursing has multiple components, and the role of the school nurse is a broad one, dependent on many factors, including the school setting, health needs of the student population, and the availability of specialized instructional student support services and programs.
Our nurses have been extremely helpful for us. Number one, if you have epidemics or the threat of epidemic in a school, you've got a health department official right there on site to help you through it all. And you know, we've had a couple of those with the H1N1 scare a few years ago. Every time you have a situation involving mold in a school, you have a health department official there to help you through all that.
Healthy children are successful learners. The school nurse has a multifaceted role within the school setting, one that supports the physical, mental, emotional, and social health of students and their success in the learning process.
Parents are the #1 link to keeping their children happy and healthy. The biggest thing they can do to help the school and the school nurse is to communicate. Keep the lines of communication open. Always provide a working phone number for us or a way that we can reach them, so that we can work with them to help their student be successful. It's also good role modeling. So when children see us working with their parents, we're role modeling for future behaviors.
The school nurse is the first line of defense in keeping students healthy and ready to learn. They provide a crucial role in the seamless provision of comprehensive health services to children and youth. With increasing numbers of students entering school each day, the school nurse is the best way to provide for the well-being, academic success, and lifelong achievement of all students. Reporting for Your School News, this is Cassie Williamson.
For all of the latest on New Hanover County Schools, join us weekdays at 5:30 p.m. here on Time Warner Cable Channel 5 and Charter Cable Channel 12. For Your School News, a complete half hour of all the latest news and information from New Hanover County Schools. Now back to our hosts.
The morning show will continue right after this break. Remember, you can be a part of everything on New Hanover County Schools TV by becoming our friend on Facebook.
We'll be right back.
Did you know that getting up and getting active for just 60 minutes a day is all it takes to help you get stronger, look better, and feel great?
Or that fresh fruits and veggies aren't just healthier and crunchier, they can taste better too?
Eating better and getting more active is easier than you think.
Yeah! Keep watching for some fun and easy ways to discover the magic of healthy living in your life.
America.
Let's get healthy together!
Poor Miles has a toothache.
Oh. First, you have to rinse your mouth out with warm water to clean it out. Then, use dental floss to remove any food that might be trapped between the teeth. Remember, don't place aspirin on an aching tooth or gums. And see your dentist as soon as possible. Feeling better, Miles? Oh, yes. Yay!
Before we go fishing, Dudley, let's brush.
Grandpa, you still brush your teeth?
Every day of my life. Regular checkups, brush twice a day to stop tooth decay, floss once a day.
You floss?
Why, sure. To stop the plaque that causes gum disease, a leading cause of tooth loss in adult dinosaurs like me. Ooh, I got one!
Brush and floss.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Ryan Spurney.
And I'm Jackie DiNapoli. Dinosaurs have taken center stage today here on the morning show.
We mentioned earlier that there are over 700 different dinosaurs that have been identified. With such a large pool, we decided to hand out the dinosaur superlatives.
That's right. Here's our fun list of those dinosaurs that stand out.
Our first award goes to the smartest dinosaur, and the award goes to the Troodon. Scientists measure smartness by figuring out how big their brain is compared to its body. And when it comes to dinosaurs, the Troodon wins. They think he was only about as smart as a modern possum, but for a dinosaur, that was pretty smart.
Our second superlative isn't one you really want to win. That is the dumbest dinosaur. And our winner, or perhaps loser, is the Stegosaurus. It had a brain as big as a walnut and a body weighing nearly 2 tons. Dumb isn't a nice word, even if it is a dinosaur fact. Let's just call Stegosaurus less smart than a Troodon.
The fastest dinosaur was Coelophysis and Ornithomimus. It was a close race and hard to determine a winner. However, scientists think these dinosaurs ran up to 30 miles per hour for short distances. And our next award goes to the biggest dinosaur. This is actually 3 different awards depending on how you measure big. Seismosaurus was the longest at 165 feet long. Its tail helped win that one. Argentinosaurus was the heaviest at 100 tons, and Brachiosaurus stood the tallest at 39 feet high, which helped it reach branches in trees. Gigantosaurus was the largest hunting dinosaur at 46 feet long and up to 8 tons in weight.
The smallest dinosaur was the Saltopus. This little dino was only 3 feet long and weighed about 5 pounds.
And our last award goes to the dinosaur with the longest name. The award goes to Micropachycephalosaurus, which means tiny, thick-headed lizard. Its fossils have been found in China, and it was named in 1978 by the Chinese paleontologist Dong.
Well, there you have it, in the 2013 Dinosaur Superlatives.
Now we're going to send it over to our news anchor, Airlie Ward, who has something special for us.
That's right, Ryan and Jackie. I have a fun new morning show game for you. I Dino-fy. We are going to test your knowledge of dinosaurs in this fun game. I'm going to show you a picture of a dinosaur, and you have to tell me which one it is. Now, some of these will probably be easy, but some are a little harder. To help you out, I'm going to give you each a list of all the dinosaurs in the game. You will each have 10 dinosaurs to identify, and we will rotate back and forth. There is a twist. If you get yours wrong, then the other person gets a chance to steal by giving the correct answer. If you both get it wrong, I'll give you the answer and we'll move on. Okay, contestants, are you ready?
Yes.
We're going to start with Ryan. Here we go.
Well, I'm going to say Stegosaurus for that one.
That's correct. The meaning of Stegosaurus is roofed lizard. All right, Jackie, it's your turn.
Pterodactyl.
That's correct. Ryan?
I'm going to say Triceratops.
That's also correct. Jackie?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That's correct. The meaning is tyrant lizard.
I think that's a Velociraptor.
That's also correct. The meaning of Velociraptor is swift plunderer.
Is it, no, Apatosaurus?
That's correct. The meaning of Apatosaurus is deceptive lizard. It's also known as Brontosaurus.
I'll say Brachiosaurus.
That's correct. The meaning is arm lizard.
Protoceratops.
That is not correct. Ryan?
Is that a Spinosaurus?
It is. The meaning of Spinosaurus is thorn lizard. And Ryan, it's still your turn.
Okay. I'll say Gigantosaurus.
That's correct. The meaning of Gigantosaurus is giant lizard of the south.
Stegosaurus?
That's not correct.
All right. I'll say Ankylosaurus.
That is correct. The meaning of its name is fused lizard. Okay.
All right. I'll say Cynognathus.
That is not correct. Jackie?
Tyrannosaurus.
That's not correct. The correct answer is Trudon, and it means wounding tooth. Okay, Jackie, it's still your turn.
Brachiosaurus?
That's not correct. Ryan?
I guess Protoceratops.
That is correct, and that means first horned face.
I'll say Dilophosaurus.
It's not correct. Jackie?
Coelophysis.
No, the correct answer is Ornithomimus, and it means bird mimic. Jackie, it's your turn again.
Dilophosaurus.
That's not correct. Ryan?
I will say a Saltopus.
No. The correct answer is Tyrannosaurus, and it means Charon's lizard. Ryan, it's your turn again.
Okay. I'll say Micropachycephalosaurus.
That's not correct. Jackie?
Saltopus.
That's not correct. The correct answer is Diplocalus, which means double stalk. Okay, Jackie, you want to try the next one?
Coelophysis.
That's not correct. Ryan?
I'll say Cynognathus.
That is correct, and it means dog jaw. Okay.
For that one, I'll say Tyrannosaurus.
That is not correct. Jackie?
What is not used? Saltopus?
No, the correct answer is Dilophosaurus, and that means two-crested lizard. Okay, Jackie?
Maybe that one's a saltopus.
No. Ryan?
I'll say Micropachycephalosaurus.
No, it's a Coelophysis, and it means hollow form.
Right. That one is definitely a Saltopus.
Yes, and that means jumping foot. Okay, Jackie, last one.
Oh, Trudon?
No. Ryan?
I think it's a Micropachycephalosaurus.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And it means small, thick-headed lizard. And our winner is Ryan. Good game to both of you. I hope everyone at home also enjoyed iDinoFi.
That does it for this edition of The Morning Show. Remember, for the best TV of all, each and every day, keep it tuned right here for New Hanover County Schools TV on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
Have a great day.
And a wonderful week.